Hello, my friends, and welcome to tonight's episode of the Strength of Thousands Adventure Path here on Tabletop Rolls. We hope you're doing really well tonight. Before we get started, a few announcements. Number one, YouTube announcements. Oh my god, Will has his life together. Everything's up on YouTube.
Woo!
Hey!
As of this Sunday, after the bagel walk, Matt, I came home, and because I was so tired and wanted to take a nap, I was like, you know what? I'm going to queue up everything to upload while I take this nap. And then did that.
Nicely done.
Worked out.
I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of me, too. Speaking of things I'm proud about, Baldur's Gate. Tuesday. Starting to continue it. We may be off this week. My family just came home from a trip, and they brought me a bevy of Lorcana and Magic the Gathering cards from the States.
Oh.
That I want to mess with.
That's love.
He is nice. Is very nice, especially when they were paying prices for some of the Magic decks that a single card in the deck makes up for.
That's always a good feeling.
Yep. They got a deck for $45, and one of the cards in it is a $45 because it's only ever been printed in that deck.
Wow.
Don't keep us in suspense, Will.
It's Black Market Connections. It's a good card.
I've never seen that card in person.
Yeah, it's a good card. So we might be off Tuesday. Depends on timing of card games. Then Wednesday, Wild Ambition.
Yeehaw!
They're at a political fundraiser and they're trying to ruin it stealthily. So far we've learnt a lot of things. And we've caused only one of the NPCs to have a small gay panic.
And Lorgar has been a bit of a hypocrite.
Yes. Thursday we are off, but of course on Friday we have Wild Ambition, and now's a great time to jump in because we are about to not Wild Ambition, Astral Calling. My head.
I know you get there.
On Friday, the Astral Calling, and now is a great time to jump in because we are doing what could possibly be the strangest but coolest thing I have ever done in a TTRPG on this Friday night stream.
I am very curious, but also scared.
I am so excited. I had like a 45-minute call with Rose today where I talked to Rose about a bunch of things. And it's going to be very fun. It's going to be very interesting, or it's going to completely fall flat on its face. One of those two things. We'll find out. Probably the first one. Speaking of falling flat on their face, it's something that Garl did a lot on Saturday.
Wow.
What made it worse is then the bard just walking and then pushing a tree over that creates a path that makes me jumping over those gaps pointless.
It was great.
Was it?
Yeah, it was hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious. But yeah, Saturday, Salt and Sorcery / Salt and Strategy. Join Will, Matt, Calf, and Chad as we play through Solasta, Crown of the Magister.
Will get pushed into some lava? Find out.
Sorry, did you say Will get pushed into some lava?
Yeah. Will.
Reminder that I'm stealing Calf this Saturday because we're going to a Pokemon wedding.
Oh, right.
Now, hold on, clarify. Are
So
Pokemon getting married, or is it a Pokemon wedding?
Yes, it's between a Gardevoir
my mother...
and a Lobunny.
Oh God, no. My mother and I got we got a little video sent to us, and it was like, okay, we're having a family reunion. It's going to be a Pokemon picnic. Everybody wear Pokemon stuff. We're going to have Pokemon snacks. We're going to have Pokemon games. And then when I go in person to discuss this with my mom, she's like, I don't know what to wear. I'm like, well, easy. We just wear something Pokemon. You know what I mean? And she's like, no, I don't know what to wear because it's actually a wedding. I was like, what? It's a surprise wedding. So I'm so excited. Aww. It's going to be very fun. But yeah, so I'm stealing him on Saturday. Sorry.
Surprise wedding doesn't generally have great content.
A surprise to who?
It's a surprise to most of the family, but most of the family already knows. They've been together for a while.
I went to a surprise wedding, and it was only a surprise wedding because it was originally supposed to be a Halloween social, and then like not even like a social to raise money for a wedding, just a social, I think. And then people like, oh, we're actually getting married. I'm like, oh, I was just about to go home.
For our American audience, a social is a party that couples will throw in Canada to effectively have other people pay for part of their wedding.
There's often like or a silent auction where you buy tickets, you put tickets in bags, you can win prizes that people donate, like a whole bunch of movie snacks and stuff.
Bridal bachelor party.
Sort of, yeah, but it's usually done in like a rec center or something, or community center, and there's like a big space for like dancing. There's a DJ, there's snacks. Sometimes there is booze.
As Squishy has corrected, it is just a Manitoba thing. We are the weird ones, but our milk does not come in bags, so we have that going for us.
Listen, that was my childhood, okay?
Nothing wrong with it. I think that's what happened when I went to visit my grandparents in Ontario.
Yeah.
Don't bag on bagged milk.
I'm not bagging on it. I'm just saying we don't have that, but that's like usually the Canadian meme. Then, of course, on Saturday, we'll probably do something else. I think Chad bought Age of Empires, so we might do like an Age of Empires 2 game.
Yeah, it's like $5 right now on Steam.
Oof. Me who bought
Age of Empires 2, mind you.
Yeah, me who bought it at release. Then Sunday, Sunhaven Sunday. I believe we're down Sarah this week. Or is it
Correctamundo.
Yes, we are down Sarah this week. So it'll just be Will, Aubrey, and Emily. We will be continuing. I'll get caught up with Sarah in the story this week is my plan. Will my inability to commit to tasks in that game allow me to do that? We'll find out. Then, of course, every Monday, it's what you're watching right now. We are, of course, doing the Strength of Thousands AP, and who better to introduce the people who are on this show than the person running it? We have Matt, also known as Urbanov on the internet, also known as Mech Warrior.
No,
not yet.
No. Hold on. Oh, I can't even remember the name they give us in game. We have a name in game, despite the fact that we never speak. Hello, everyone. Yes, I am Matt Urbanov at various places on the internet. I'm here to lead this group of fantastic people through the Strength of Thousands adventure path for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. We have gone from students to teachers extraordinaires as they are. Well, I'll leave the recap for after the intro. But speaking of intros, let's introduce our characters, starting tonight with the person wielding the most fabulous fan, Sarah. Who are you and who do you play tonight?
Hey everybody, I'm Sarah Margaret. I play Charlotte, the naughty toxicologist. I only vaguely know what's happening from last week because I was in and out consciously while I was watching the stream, and was not actually in game. So I'm here.
And for my random question for the week, I'm going to ask everyone, what is a either memorable, or if you can summon the thought, your favorite boss fight you've ever had in a video game? Or at least a very memorable one that you think of either fondly or like, oh, that one.
One of the first games that I played where I had zero assistance from my brother, which doesn't count Ocarina of Time because my brother helped me with Ocarina of Time defeating Ganondorf, was Okami. Ooh. And one of the bosses is Orochi, and it is probably the longest boss in the entirety of the game. It's not a short game, FYI. And it was essentially one by one you'd have to kill each one of its heads. And that felt memorable because it took me forever to kill each individual head. Orochi is an 8-headed serpent, FYI, based off of the Japanese mythology.
Question, because I don't know much about Okami the game. I know a little bit about the myth involving Orochi in mythology. Do you get a sword after you beat them?
Correct, the Tsukuyomi sword.
Grass cutter.
FYI, Okami is 100% based off of Japanese mythology. So if you are really interested in that sort of thing, highly recommend that game.
You ever wonder why Orochimaru had that sword in his mouth, Will?
Oh, I know why. That's why. Love me some Orochimaru.
But speaking of Naruto weebs, Will, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hey, hi there. I'm Will. I'm playing Igara, Gama, and Choco. And Matthew, my favorite boss fight is from the Naruto RPG on the Xbox 360. It was one of the first games I ever 100%ed. And it was during the Big 3 battle where you were climbing up on Gamakichi's back, the namesake for Gama, to go and punch Orochimaru in the face. Listen, I love Naruto. I unironically love Naruto. The Boruto time skip stuff that's happening right now is making me so happy. I
Give it time, Will. There's been one chapter.
I'm so much joy. I love the character designs, though.
Okay.
And the premise is so fun, anyway.
But speaking of someone that I think when I think of excellent character designs, Zoe, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Zoe. I go by Zosie Pose on Twitch, on TikTok, and on Instagram. And I would say it's definitely a tie for me between the Nostalgia boss, which is this game called Ys or Wise Arc of Nepishtim. And the first boss that I really got into, like, bust through the wall and then, like, heavy rock metal started playing. And that was, like, not the vibe of this fantasy game at all. So, like, that just stood out to me, especially because I was so proud that I, like, beat it by myself when I was so little. In college, I was going through a really bad time and my friends were like, hey, we have Bloodborne. Like, you've expressed interest in this game before, like, you like the aesthetic of it, you like the switch weapons, whatever. So they had me play it. And I got through the first boss on the first try. And I was so, like, happy and proud that the catharsis, I just, like, started sobbing, but, like, laughing and sobbing. And then, like, we all hugged. And it was, like, a very wholesome moment. So that always, like, sticks well with me.
So
I like Bloodborne.
Was this why one day when I was in Franklin and, like, I was coming out of Reeves and Cooper's room at the time, I saw, like, Christy just, like, coming down the stairs in tears slightly with, like, hearing sobbing from the room?
That might have been the day that we brought Cody mint ice cream to cheer him up, but he told us that he was allergic to mint.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. I was just like,
both of us started crying because we felt bad because we were trying to cheer him up and we did the shittiest thing ever.
I was like,
but yes.
I was like, wait, oh, that explains that.
But speaking of someone who someone who cheers us up with their very presence, McKenna, why don't you introduce yourself and your character?
Unless she's bullying me.
What am I doing?
Cheers
I'm
me up.
Introducing myself. My name is McKenna Ray Tynan. Thank you for not interrupting me that time. Okay, now I'm bullying you a little bit.
You're fine.
And I'm playing
Avi
Avi, the Nyctera witch. And her familiar agate. I almost forgot.
Meow.
Meow.
Hey, chat, if you... Zoe beat me to it. Go click the link. Go see McKenna. Go follow her TikTok.
But answer the question, McKenna.
Follow her TikTok.
Favorite boss fight.
Or at least a memorable one.
So does Phoenix Wright count?
Sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Without spoiling things for people, the last guilty NPC from the second game was such a good twist villain, and was so, like, antithetical to what the games had been about thus far, and it was so stressful and so good.
So satisfying to take them down.
And that one, all of the Phoenix Wright baddies, when you, like, finally polish them off and, like, they're done, they're like, that's it, you've shut them down, they all have, like, these triggered animations, and that guy, like, fucks themselves right up, and it's oof. it's satisfying because he deserves it.
On a tangential note, McKenna, are you enjoying Fontaine Wright?
I am. I finished the story arc last week, the new Archon Quest.
Oh, nice.
Both parts? Like the first trial and the second trial?
Yes.
Okay.
I get new Star Rail content tomorrow. I'm chomping at the bit.
Do we?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. And
Yes,
for
you should, so it's super fun. I love the Ace Attorney games.
for my answer for my own question, I am going to cheat because I can, because I'm the DM, and I'll give two quick answers. One, my eyes peeked up when Zoe mentioned Bloodborne. It's not the hardest boss, but I did it myself, and it's just such a cool fight, and I love her so much. Lady Maria, she's just a cool lady with a pair of
She's so
swords,
cool.
but she kicks your
So
ass
cool.
so much
Yeah.
because she's just that good.
She is the moment.
Also, that fashion sense. And second, just to bring it back to total weebness, just in terms of incredibly satisfying, cathartic bosses. Actually, I'll supplement my earlier. Had something different in mind, but I'm going to say this: beating Zeus in Lost Belt
Weeb.
6 in Fate Grand Order, and I managed to do it actually at the last little bit. I was going to die if they got another turn with Penthesilea. I'm like, technically, this is your granddaughter, Zeus, because this is Ares' daughter. And she just beat your face in. I was afraid I was going to have to redo it, but because Penthesilea, my longtime companion, was super leveled, I've put so much resources into her, she managed to take him down. I didn't have to repeat the boss fight.
In contrast, there was me who brought the entire Indian pantheon to punch Zeus in the face. Which I enjoyed that. That was fun. Anyway.
Also, for further context, Zeus is a giant robot head from space, because the Greek gods in Fate are actually robots from space.
Because fate.
Of course.
Because fate.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
It's fate.
Artemis is a kill satellite. That makes sense.
And
Anyway.
while we roll that intro, Matt's going to talk about the moon.
No.
And we're back. And we will definitely probably try out that TTRPG at some point on this channel, Matt and McKenna, because I really like it.
I just realized I didn't say who I was playing.
Oh. Who are you playing, Zoe?
I'm playing Ophelia. She's our Whisper Elf Bard. Yeah.
You got
Huzzah.
this. Good job.
This is episode 90.
What happened, Matt? Because I fell asleep midway through watching y'all stream last time.
That's all right. So last time, the lore speakers continued their diplomatic mission to the temple city of Mazzali. Very specifically, they had been tasked with exploring the ruined Shrine of the Eclipse, which is rumored to hold prophetic tablets that Walkana, the ruler of the temple city, is sort of conditionally saying, oh, I'll make these changes you want me to make to my city and my policies if you get me these tablets so I can, further use them to solidify my role by interpreting them in very specific ways. Got to maintain that mandate of heaven, as they used to say in ancient China.
Of course.
You guys explored the top...
The sacred tablets that only I can read.
Yes. Actually, a few of you might sort of be able to suss out things. A couple of you took classes for a month.
Sure did.
You guys cleared out the top level on the ground floor after dealing with some weird demonic owl peoples. Met up with hoot and a half. You met up with some bright lions who were essentially holding down the fort on the top floor. You descended into the first level of the temple. You fought off some iron golems where you just had to whittle them down with just lots of acid. You investigated a pretty grisly sight in a kitchen that, because of a particular dice roll, whoever made that mess isn't home right now. But you also found like a greater cloak of Elvenkind, which is pretty nice. Also a lot of mangled bodies. Just gonna ignore that.
It's not nice.
They also made the important discovery that the doors in here seem to be activated by direct sunlight or moonlight. But it has to be specifically one of those. Like the light spell won't do it. It has to be something that specifically conjures like daylight or moonlight. But you guys managed to rig up some kookiness by taking advantage of a hole in the ceiling in the room with all the bodies and a compact mirror.
Yeah.
So you were able, by getting two people to stand in very specific spots, to create a sort of mirror solution to a couple of the doors, which unfortunately also opened up an encounter with some solar-powered mummy zombies, let's say, that, thanks to some excellent use of abilities by the players, never actually got to pull off their cool sunburst explosion power, because it takes 3 actions and you kept stunning them at least one. Or I wanted to get them into better positions. I could have been...
I would like to just make one comment about that.
What's that?
We did not plan to have that synergy, but we did end up doing that synergy, and I'm very proud of us for doing that, just accidentally.
Yes.
Pretty dope.
But then when we left off, the door to the kitchen was still open, being held by Choco, holding the compact mirror in his beak and kind of flickering it to make the door stay open. And your bright lion companion that came with you is holding the other one, keeping the sunlight door to the south still open. Though you get the sense that the effectiveness of the light is probably going to end at the second of the southern doors here that leads into the chamber where the sun mummies came from. But beyond that, a whole other level of the temple remains. There's at least another set of doors in this room you haven't explored yet. You could sit in the kitchen amongst the gore and wait for whoever made it to come back, despite the fact that you seem to have robbed them all of their treasure already.
Don't think that will be a good choice.
I will say we take 45 minutes for me to get everyone back up to full health.
Probably a little less, because Endures in Darkness can help.
Yeah,
Believe it or
nice,
not,
'cause
Endures in Darkness, because of the feats that I have, actually slows me down if he helps.
Oh?
Use my
Oh, that would be possible.
Because
What?
they don't have all the medicine skill feats yet, right?
I mean, they have continual recovery, they have battle medicine, they have ward medic.
Okay, then never mind. It doesn't slow me down as much.
Hmm.
But yeah.
I mean,
I
what
had a
else is he
funny
going to spend his
number.
feats on?
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever you want.
But yeah, everyone can get back up to full health, though do not regenerate any spell slots you have used. You guys haven't taken a rest since you started exploring the temple. It's literally probably only been like an hour since you came down here, at most.
No, well, we did
Maybe an hour and a half.
We did spend a good hour trying to figure out how to open up the doors.
Well, in real time. But yeah, the path forward or sideways or back is up to you guys. The DM now fades back into the shadows.
Lead on, friends.
That's so good.
Choco's already through one door, but we've got the other one.
He's still holding like the compact mirror in his beak, and you ever try and like hold an apple in your mouth for a long time and you start like drooling a little bit because you can't close your mouth?
It's disgusting.
I don't know if you ever held something in your mouth too long. I was like, oh,
birds
it's
drool?
unfortunate.
I think everything
Yes.
drools. Everything.
No, some birds don't have saliva, so not.
Really?
Yeah.
Do chocobos drool?
I had a parrot. A lot of parrots don't have saliva.
Do chocobos dream of Final Fantasies?
Do chocobos dream of having saliva? I don't know.
Certain
Why
chickens do.
Yeah, why did I think just because my ducks drooled that every bird drooled?
Yeah, there's a lot of variety in ducks.
That's
A
true.
lot of variety in birds.
A lot of
Right.
variety of birds.
Actually, that's what I meant to say. I mean, look at a sparrow versus a secretary bird.
Oh
They
my
barely
God.
look like the same species.
I love secretary birds.
are
They're
great.
so funny. Like
something
Also a great
something,
character
an
in the rest
African swallow or a
paragraph, so.
European swallow.
What do you mean?
Okay, in my professional opinion, professional being used very loosely here, I think we should do the door to the west while we can still take advantage of that whole sunlight gimmick that we've been inflicting upon
Yeah, it's about
our
like
companions.
midday now, probably.
Big agree.
Okay.
I'm down. You all are the smart thinking people. I am just the sack of hit points that you hide behind.
Are you good? Says the one person who thinks that.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, I'm good.
Are you?
Okay. Yeah. So are we going to ship you know what, I'm gonna be quiet. Because I have
would
no
you like to
idea
go
how any of
first?
this works.
So basically we have to shine sunlight at the sun door or moonlight at the moon door.
No, I got that. But we've got two open with two people holding mirrors to like reflect. So my assumption is one of them will have to not be where they're at and shift over.
Well, if the bright line kind of moves here, you guys can kind of angle. Well, actually, here probably. Choco can angle it through the door, and then they can angle it sort of there, maybe.
Well, technically
there.
speaking, they could go there, and then the light line, for those of you who like Pink Floyd, would be like,
yeah.
So do they stay open once they're open?
They stay open for a minute, but you can essentially reset it by flickering the light into the door again.
Yeah, that's why Choco's just been standing there as like a mirror pedestal.
Cool, great.
I'll be honest, I don't really like the door mechanics for this thing, just because both moonlight and sunlight spells are pretty rare, but because they stay open so short, it becomes just a mechanically annoying thing. So I actually like this situation.
One had moonlight, sunlight spells, and we didn't take the bright line. Would we just be screwed?
I mean, you could go back up. You could go back upstairs and ask one of the bright lines for help.
I mean, there's, as Matt said, there's probably magical items in here that would help us. But
spoilers, there are, but they're behind some of the doors.
Yeah.
What?
Well, you know, that's game theory for
So there is a reason.
But that's just
for that.
All right. Well, Gamma, would you like to do the honors?
I mean, I don't open the door, the light just shines on it, and then the door opens. I'm half expecting Avi to run in front of me again.
We have the guy shine the light.
Don't cry about it, Igora.
Gamma, are you also salty?
No, I worry about all of you. I, unlike Igora, care for you all.
Gamma, Igora, I'm glad you're not snails. Because you would be roasted right now.
In the
sun? A little salty.
Oh, because of the salt. Yeah, that's a good joke.
Sure.
Igora's just like...
Is it really a good joke if I have to explain it?
No, you killed it.
Also, because
the police
if
are
they're
coming.
salty, you can still. I mean, frog legs. I wouldn't personally, but they are a delicacy. And
can you open the door, please?
Yes, please.
Endures in Darkness is very aware that he would probably taste amazing sautéed.
Oh yeah,
of course.
As a person who just had
I'm
some
on no
sautéed
mushroom
mushrooms.
diet, so there's that.
Are you saying that, or is Ophelia saying that?
Ophelia's saying that.
Desperately wants this door opened, and I think we should let her.
All right. So, you guys open the door. And let me just open this a little bright. All right. You quickly take in an interesting scene inside. Let me read everything. I'm going to open the door, but then let me say all the things first. So, open the sunlight door. All right. Several plots of dirt are evenly spaced along this room, each surrounded by a thin trench of flowing water. The plots are overgrown with plants, making it difficult to see the floor. A set of doors leads out of the room to the east, and an open archway leads to the small room to the west. A large hole in the floor against the southern wall opens to a massive tunnel below. You also see suddenly a group of quite a few figures, actually. There are a few that are quite close to the door, and then there's about like a dozen farther back. And they all kind of like shakily kind of stand up and kind of turn to look to you. One of them kind of steps out into the middle and kind of holds up a hand. And he does something, and he starts growing and growing to a big size. He seems very imposing now, and he's like, "I would speak with you, strangers." Everyone is free to give me a what is it? Perception check.
No, I'm not going to make that joke.
Ooh.
32.
Everyone makes it. You quickly take in this scene. You guys have encountered a lot of like raring to go fights these days, things that are like ready to go for your throat as soon as you see them. There is a kind of reluctance, there is a nervousness, there is a desperation in the eyes of these beings.
Avi, what are we talking to?
It's okay, we don't want to fight.
We would hear you.
The guy seems quite pleased that you are willing to speak, and he goes on to sort of explain. There's not actually dialogue, so I'm just going to read to you here. So, a while ago, there was a stampede out in the jungle that displaced these guys from their homes, like a dinosaur stampede. They, in searching for a new home, stumbled onto the entrance to the lowest floor of this temple and found their way inside. During the search, they came into this room, found the lush plants. They assumed that there were gardeners around to tend to them, so they waited here and kind of hesitates to mention this, they were going to ambush the gardeners. But no one arrived, and they only eventually realized that the plants are grown magically, and no one has tended to them in a long time. When they tried to leave, however, they found huge worm-like monsters had moved into the chamber below, eagerly feasting upon anyone who tried to leave in that direction. They lost several people in almost an instant. They can't get the doors leading to the east to open. They couldn't get the doors that you guys just came in to open. And so essentially they realized they were now trapped in here.
Oh, no.
They became very afraid of leaving in any direction. So they would be very grateful if you would just let them leave. They'd be willing to tell you anything they know about this temple. They want to leave. They're scared, and vegetables are not meant to be their primary diet, so they're all a little
Malnourished?
Yeah.
Well, my condolences for your fallen family members. And the only thing we're down here looking for are some tablets with some writing on them. I don't know if you would have happened to have seen those.
We've seen nothing but the tunnel down below we entered into in this room. That was sort of the problem. We couldn't gain access to any rest of the temple.
And these worms. Anything more about them?
They are very large and very hungry, and there may be more than one.
Points to Gamma. Bigger than this?
Much bigger. Purple, perchance?
It was kind of dark. It was hard to see the color.
Me?
Also, most of the people who actually said anything like, "Oh, there's a giant," were instantly eaten. Sort of secondhand information we were getting.
You know, that's fair. That's fair. Don't blame them for that. I say we have somebody escort them up to the surface so that the Bright Lions don't accidentally think they're enemies, and let them go.
Yeah.
They appear very grateful for you guys to let them go. They do offer another piece of information as well. They did see from a distance what appeared to be some kind of waterlogged, corpse-like looking beings, sort of just hanging out in deep water down there also. Like, there's the large kind of cave that they came in where the large worm-like things are, and then sort of nearby there's a relatively shallower part of water that there seemed to be some corpse-like kind of shapes in the water. They didn't seem to move, but it was kind of weird that they were under the water instead of floating on it.
Yeah.
So they say, watch out for that.
Thank you. Very helpful.
Weird.
Yeah. I say we let these poor people go.
Yeah.
And live their lives outside of this place and find some proper food.
Yeah, I'll send Gamma up with them, and yeah.
Before you go, what do you call yourselves?
These are Billicos. They are sometimes a rather hostile kind of almost fey kind of creature. They're like weird crocodile fey people, but with more not like proper like lizard folk that have like full like lizard features and stuff. Kind of a snubbed kind of nose. Yeah.
Kind of an interesting.
They're usually a little hostile, but the situation is kind of taking the fight and the aggression out of them.
I'll imagine, yeah.
I'll take it. They're scary.
Though you do notice a bunch of there's like a dozen in the back who you probably gauge are like level 1.
Oh.
So,
Fireball.
Yeah.
No.
The one that you've been talking to, and oh boy, I'm gonna pronounce his name maybe once. Gambulami is very grateful, and on his way out presents one of you with an item, a deflecting branch. It's a massive branch that has been cut into a general club shape, but still bears several knots and has a number of runes carved into its length. The deflecting branch is a +2 greater striking great club. On a critical hit, it knocks someone prone. Also, it's got an ability that you can activate as a reaction. You are the target of a physical ranged attack, and you gain a +4 circumstance bonus to AC against the triggering attack. If the attack misses, you have knocked it away. You can't use this ability to deflect unusually massive range projectiles, such as a boulder or a ballista bolt. And
what if you could though? That'd be sick as hell.
Also,
the boulder.
You can also attempt to redirect it at the person who shot it. It's a slightly different action. It doesn't give you a plus AC. Oh, hold on. No, it is actually. You get a free action if you manage to deflect it with the first action. Then you can send it right back at the thing that shot it at you, within 60 feet. Yeah. So.
Who would this be best on?
I don't know.
None of
anyone
us.
in the party who could use this.
I'm not sure if a great club is a martial weapon. It might be.
Martial weapon.
It is +2 striking, so at some point you guys could just remove the rune from that potentially.
Isn't it greater striking?
It is a. Let's see. It is a +2 greater striking great club.
Yeah.
So that is a cool magic item. Would be good for like Barbar, but why would there be a Barbar in this campaign?
For funsies.
Yeah.
It's a transfer student. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to we managed to avoid a combat encounter. I'm just going to remove these guys from the map. They get upstairs. The bright line is given them a wide berth, and they just flee into the jungle.
What are they growing?
You've done a good thing.
It's just like some plants. It's just like some generic vegetables.
But they were growing magically?
This is a little magic garden. As long as nothing blocks off the water, the plants are just tend to themselves here.
Where is the water coming from?
I wish.
Hidden little nooks in the walls and stuff.
My herbs would do that.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys are left alone in this room. There is an additional room off to the side here.
Do I hear anything coming from that room?
Give me a perception check.
31.
31. You don't hear anything.
Okay.
Or smell or see.
I'm also gonna make a little perceptione check.
Perceptione.
He was like in the
Me and
distance, but I
Agate.
can see is there's some water
You
that's being
also don't think.
through the tunnel.
Alright, this looks irrigated to me.
It is. It's like a little magical garden that's just self-maintaining.
Water source, I think, is in the distance there. But what I can see from
The room off to the side there that now Avi is closest to, it appears to be kind of like a tool shed kind of room. Holds a number of different tools for tending to the garden. The tools are all rusted and rotted away at this point. It looks like just based on some like plant matter that's been put into little things the bilkoes were sleeping in here. You do see something shining on a shelf built into the wall.
Oh, can I take a closer look at it? I don't want to touch
yes,
it
you get.
yet.
It was a 25 DC to find it, but you both rolled like critical successes anyway. So, just from outside the room, you found this. It is a traveler's any tool.
What is
What?
that?
That's helpful.
Yeah. Before it's activated, this item appears to be an ash rod capped with steel on the other end. You can interact with its 2 actions. You imagine a specific simple tool, and the any tool transforms into it. This transforms the wooden portion into any haft and the metal caps into spades, hammerheads, or the like, allowing for most basic tools, but nothing more complex. You can return the item to its rod form with a interact option.
It's a slightly
Cool.
It's a slightly better Swiss Army knife.
Cool. I was just thinking, like, yeah, it's a Swiss Army knife, magical Swiss Army knife.
That's cool.
They're very cool items. They are a go-to in society play for PF1 because there are so many scenarios that literally would be solved if you just had one of these magical items with you. It was very funny.
Yeah.
Gee, sure would be nice if I had a shovel.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I'm seeing some water through here.
Yeah.
Is that the
Yeah.
water they were saying the corpses were in?
No,
Yeah.
they said the corpses were a floor below us.
Yes.
Yeah.
The things that were concerning to them are flow below. I'm just gonna.
So this must be where the source of the water for the plants is coming from?
I'm just gonna read the
Maybe you're
description.
right.
It looks like there's something on the other side in the distance.
Yeah.
So
All
my
right,
spider eyes is
a large hole in the floor against the southern wall opens up to a massive tunnel. So, if you guys wanted, you can go poke your heads. Yeah.
No, done. Don't even have to ask.
Yeah, you see what you see. It appears to be ways down. There's a large tunnel under there. Possibly even goes down into the next floor.
A progression.
How's the door looking? Still staying up?
Yeah, you guys, your 2 people out there are still keeping it open.
Okay.
Or Bright Lion. It's
Should
just
we
like
leave them just in case?
They told me I'd be an exciting adventurer or a liberator. You didn't say this.
join the Bright Lions, they say.
Find freedom for your people. Make a better life for your
Fun,
family.
they said, and here I am.
Be a glorified hat rack.
Oh no, not a hat rack, a doorstop.
Is there a way
Oh.
we can wedge something underneath the sun door? to
I
keep-
mean, you've cleared out the room, though. I'm not sure what the point would be.
Well, if
Well,
this
I mean, if we want to go backwards.
Also, not necessarily, because there is a door on the other side of the water.
Oh yes, but
Want to
like,
give me a perception check?
Ooh.
yeah,
One for me, one for Agate. Nope,
Ooh.
both bad.
It is. There is 1, no light source in here, and 2, it's quite a ways away.
Funny you should say that, chat.
Huh. What if I dancing lights
Okay.
up in here?
All right. Feel free to give me more perception checks now that there's actually a light source in here.
One for me, one for Agate.
Just from this distance, you can tell that that is one of the moon doors.
Oh, it is blue.
Also, you get the distinct impression that that used to be maybe one of like a tunnel. It appears that the walls there are like collapsed stone. This used to be
Yeah.
possibly an actual room, but has like collapsed into the deep tunnel.
Oh.
Interesting.
probably connected to another room that we were near.
Yeah.
It just the gamer in me is like, what's this room here for? Just for us to
The
look at it and
wraparound?
go, oh.
There's
I don't
nothing in the
know.
water that we see?
Nothing in the water that you see at the moment.
Gamma, go in the water. Alright, boss.
Oh, I don't like it. Gamma!
All right, hold on a sec. I have to read something about the next floor.
Gamma was just going.
So this is the one with the bodies in it.
Not necessarily.
Do we recognize the bodies in the
What
water?
is not
You don't see any
necessarily
bodies. Hold
that?
on, hold on.
Either a yes or a no.
I'm having to look at two different maps at once and seeing how they overlap. Which I'm not even sure necessarily is what's supposed to be happening. You guys are possibly sequence breaking here, so.
Uh-oh.
Do we recognize the bodies in the water?
Goodness no.
Let the bodies hit the water. Let the bodies hit the water. Right.
I mean, to
Alright.
be fair, we're all back here. Gamma's there, so like honestly,
Hold on.
best situation here is Gamma takes the hit for us.
Situation.
All right, so I'm just going to say this just because this is the only way this actually makes sense. The part where there's water is actually very far down.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's a chasm.
Oh,
Yes,
then never mind.
This is a big collapsed part of the thing that literally connects both floors because it's such a big hole.
How far?
Because otherwise there's two rivers stacked on top of each other, and that doesn't make any sense.
Oh God.
What is the distance?
Quite a bit.
Okay, then I'm not going to drop Gamma down there.
Well,
Yes. I'm just saying, as the DM, don't. Because it's confusing mostly.
It's 30 feet across? Is that what we're seeing here?
It's down.
No, I mean to the other side.
To the other side, based on what we're dealing with, it is 95 feet across.
Like theoretically, someone could dimension door, but then we'd need a way to open that door.
Alternatively, there is just the sun door that goes to the same place over there.
Yeah.
I'm also noting that the moon door only has a tiny little bit of a platform in front of it. The rest is actually quite a bit farther down.
Yeah.
I see. Oh, I see. Okay.
This is kind of like a big chasm.
Okay. I thought this was like a slope down to a beach.
Its
like,
topography makes no sense on this map.
And you haven't seen the second part of it yet, and now you understand my confusion. So you'll understand once you maybe go down a floor if you chose.
Well, I guess we need to go down a floor to figure this out.
I mean, you also have several doors you haven't explored on this floor yet.
Yeah, we still have the doors from the other room.
Well, that's boring. Moving on.
Yeah. Like, technically speaking, we still have the door that's way over here.
Avi is going into the other room.
Well, I'm just
activating the death lasers.
She just went.
Don't forget Endures in Darkness.
Endures
down here. It's just
He's like, no, I want to be in with my people as he sinks into the nice earth in the garden.
You said that we couldn't use the light to open this door down here. That was stretching
the beam from the compact gets a little too weak by that point.
So not Legend of Zelda mechanics. Got it.
So what if I had a third No, just kidding.
I mean, technically only a second.
Any tool. What about the any tool? We make
that
it
does. No.
Oh, I like how you're thinking there.
It's not so much that you need. It's not that you necessarily need another reflector at this point. At this point, you need something that would increase the power of the reflecting beam.
Flashlight.
Do you have one?
Any tool.
No, that's not a thing.
Damn it.
Wait. Hold on. Hold
up.
How big is the reflector?
Compact mirror.
Compact.
It's a compact mirror. It's not huge.
Well,
Matt is being very gracious to let us use this harebrained compact mirror.
Which I haven't actually looked in your inventory to see if you had compact mirror written down, so.
Oh, okay.
Ophira loves looking at herself. She would 1,000% have a compact mirror. I would bet my actual life on it.
I go and enlarge the compact mirror.
Oh. You know what? Because that is a creative solution. Oh god, you guys have created like a full mirror now. He's this large size. The mirror is now bigger.
That's thinking with portals.
That is
Hell yeah.
Just increase the size of the mirror. More light.
Now, the mirror that Gamma would have been holding, right?
Oh,
Because
Yeah.
that's the first one. You want the first one. All right.
well,
Bigger.
I would
Do it
well,
again.
I would say that would be strong enough to open this door down here, which reveals. Hold on, let me get to the dynamic lighting thing.
Here, let's just put Gamma into the room in case more zombies.
Another
come
hallway.
out. You know, I understand like why a temple would do this for defense, but my God, it's hard to loot it. I mean, archaeology it because of it.
So there's another sun door here.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Why?
What in the world?
Well,
But you know what?
Shard, do you want to enlarge the other one?
I could. Yeah. Why not?
Okay, that would
What were
totally.
you gonna say, Matt?
No, that works perfectly. You guys have two large-sized mirrors now that manage to just reach this thing, but you think, unless you find another light source,
At the other hallway.
all right.
Well, them's the breaks. I can't enlarge anything else. I'm out of spell slots.
All right,
Oh.
Twice. That's about it.
let's send the Gamakichi into the room first.
Are you gonna resummon or summon him, or he
Oh,
may have to
he can-
squeeze
he
pretty
can-
badly?
He can just squeeze through the door. He's squishable.
All right.
Squishable, squashable.
I will move him in then.
Giving this is my hole.
Boop, and then boop.
So-
it has to stay within. The
How's
size.
it going
we
in
can
there?
only do this for 5 minutes. So as soon as we get into a clear moving forward, we should let our companions know so they can follow us.
It is mentioned that Endurance and Darkness does have a daylight spell that in emergency he can use for. No, he doesn't actually. He used it on the undead.
Used it.
He used it on the undead. He's out.
Awkward. How do the doors look?
You enter into this large half circle room, and there are no further doors, but you do see a few things. First of all, on the far side of the room, seemingly the room itself is sort of like a half a dome. You know, it's a big circular room with a circular ceiling, like round, but it stops in the middle, and there's a large wall, and the wall is decorated with combined symbols of suns and moons. But the thing that draws your attention a bit more, there's a figure sitting in like a meditative pose in the middle of the room in damaged and sundered armor with a like a pick weapon sitting next to them, just sort of like sitting freestanding on the floor, and it's glowing with kind of sunlight energy along the business end of it. And the figure slowly raises their head as you open the room. And you can see this was once possibly like beautiful, functional, but kind of ceremonial kind of style armor. But there's obvious like wear and tear on it, like it's old armor. There's a very obvious slash in the center of it, like whoever was wearing it was stabbed in the heart. But there are two kind of glowing, kind of like, you know, you've seen like undead glowing kind of eyes before that always look kind of eerie and like corpse light. These look like little globes of sunlight.
Oh, cool.
And it looks at you and just kind of tilts its head slightly. And it seems to take almost like the motion of taking a deep breath, but there's no sound of breath. Yes?
I think Charlotte's just waving.
Yeah. Oh.
Saying hi
Charlotte
to
is
it.
just waving a hand.
Does this give us the same vibes as
The other two.
the night that wouldn't go down and kept following
get
us
it.
forever?
You get a similar feel, but the armor and the manner is very different. The previous one was very malevolent. You got a horrible feeling.
Okay.
There's something. Everyone, feel free to give me a perception check, and this is almost going to be more of just a general kind of almost
Roll for vibe check.
vibe.
Yeah, because listen, I don't want my lungs filled with water again. I didn't really like that.
No one,
But
he's-
no one liked that. Everyone hated that.
I
Ophelia.
found it kind of enjoyable.
Ophelia, you walk into this room, and you are a master at this point of conveying feelings through performance, through song. There's just something in this room that you get a feeling, oh, something terrible happened here. Something sad and tragic. And you just feel you feel pity looking at this figure as it rises to its feet and kind of grasps its weapon, but doesn't raise it or anything, and it kind of stands there. And
Master
I'm going to read
Anakin,
some
the
stuff.
younglings.
Oh no.
We the younglings?
All right, I'm going to read the actual flavor text for this room. The north wall of this room is rounded, while the south wall is flat, decorated with an elaborate carving depicting the sun and moon moving across the sky. The ceiling is only 6 feet high at the edges, but arches up to 20 feet in the middle of the south wall. Several geometric patterns and runes are carved into the floor. The walls feature the engraved image of a night sky with the moon in various phases across the length of the design. Just let me check something here.
No work.
I really wish that we had access to 8th level spells, because there's a spell that I really want to use.
The figure speaks, and it is a very kind of just old sounding voice, like almost like the recording of an old voice. It doesn't sound like the person is old, like it's not an old man voice, but there's just an old quality to it.
Garbled through radio.
It says, "Are you here to help, or are you here for further defilement?"
Suppose that depends on what you consider help and what you consider defilement.
He glances with his glowing kind of flame-wreathed weapon at the wall behind him. Behind me lies what remains of my mistress, trapped and tortured in the moment of her interrupted apotheosis. I failed her. I failed everyone. And I have remained here in vigil, my failure running through my heart and my mind, waiting for someone to come and do what I cannot, to save her from her living death. I am her final bulwark. If you are to help, you must overcome me, for I am bound by my oath to protect her. But I ask, if you can overcome me, please put her to rest.
Who is your mistress?
He actually does answer this question. So this is going to be a bit of a lord up. This temple was once host to a group of people that worshipped where is her name? A woman by the name of Dejor Mube. And
Not out for me, bud.
So it is. You know what? I'll just throw it into chat. It's a little hard to see because my screen it's white text on black for me. So this lady was once a kind of high priest of this area, and she was reaching a point of enlightenment where she was going to ascend to become an actual divine being, but the the Council of Moanzia attacked the temple, slaughtered all the worshippers and people who lived here, and managed to interrupt the process when she was at her most vulnerable. And now she exists in a sort of like horrible in-between phase as a tortured spirit, unable to die, but also unable to complete her ascension. The Grave Knight before you was meant to be her protector, her body, her like ultimate champion, but the attack from the council was so swift and so brutal that he was unable to protect her and failed, and then she was sealed behind this wall. And now he is bound here by an oath. He has to protect her, so if you guys want to access the room behind, he has to fight you.
We have to help.
Question.
Yes.
No, like question to the guy.
Yes.
So you said they were stopped in the middle of their ascension?
Yes.
Can we finish it?
I hope so. It's very possible. The great magics were at work. And he kind of gestures to the room. If everyone wants, you can give me an Arcana check.
Hey, look to the smart people.
Yeah, not me.
Ooh. Oh my. Okay, Avi and Ophelia, you guys put your big brains together. And there are the runes on the walls is a lot. It's like a big... This whole room was a ritual focus. There's like conjuration and focusing power stuff built into the walls. This room was meant to facilitate the ascension. So it's very possible that if there is some sort of catalyst to be triggered, it could aid in the completing of the ascension, or at least to maybe stop or hinder what she is currently.
Well, I'm saying, does he know the catalyst? Like, if he was a
He
religious
does.
member...
Unfortunately, he was not a scholar. He was just a simple warrior, and apparently he wasn't even good at that.
Oh.
I mean,
Yeah.
is
He
there...
has literally been replaying his failure to protect his almost literal living goddess all the time he's been
Please
down
help
here.
This man, my God, it's reminding me of Link from Twilight Princess. Please stop.
Oh.
It is very much that. Except also if Zelda was also trapped in a horrible state of undeath and
Okay.
tortured by her own existence for the whole time.
Anyway, is there...
There's no way to finish her ritual then and ascend her into...
I mean, if you put her to rest, it might untether her from this reality. Like,
No, but
killing her in the middle left her as an undead spirit that wasn't fully ascended. If you get rid of the undead part of her,
Okay, so
And
there's
it's
no,
well,
way
he's
to,
a
there's no way to peacefully complete the ritual, then.
no. You are probably gonna have to fight her. Wink, DM saying this, you know.
Okay.
But there might be stuff beyond that side of the wall that might help. He doesn't really know. He's been stuck on this side.
So we have
Couldn't
to
even
fight
leave the room.
him.
We have to fight him and then probably her.
Okay, well, if we're going to... Igra, like, walks over here, has Gama square up. Not doing anything hostile yet.
Yep.
Just like...
He kind of like...
let's
he does
all...
like the... He raises his pick like this, ready to begin.
Yeah, let's all get into,
Let's
like,
all
a position.
file in.
Hey, wait. Before we start this fight, buddy, what are your combat capabilities?
Some sort of check for that. Damn.
By the way, his name is
Oh, wait, no, I wanted to say that in character. That's so rude.
go ahead.
Charlie was just going to go with her book out and just say, before we begin, may I know your name so I can have record of your dedication within history?
Give me a slight persuasion check to make him feel like he's worthy of being remembered.
I got you. Can
This guy has been living in a cycle of remembering his failure for decades alone in the dark.
I don't have a persuasion. What am I rolling?
Diplomacy.
You can let Igoro do a persuasion check if you want, or a
It's
diplomacy check.
Can we couple that with the, hey, can you tell us everything you can do in a fight while we do this?
Sure.
Okay. Oh, 35. That's respectable.
Okay, we'll go with the 35. I tried.
He is silent for a moment and then replies, Umandeo.
Mondeo. Nice to meet you. What type of tactics do you like to use in battle? If you have like a short write-up, perhaps, that you could read to us.
He is big armor. He's got a greater flaming great pick.
Fuck. Well, that's going to hurt
And
any
a-
crits.
Greater flaming composite short bow. Also, he's got sort of some of the Grave Knight stuff you faced before. He has AO, and he has... Well, you guys never really come up with this. Don't put a Grave Knight's armor on.
Yeah, no, we got
Don't
that.
do that.
Don't
do
that.
that.
We got that
Why?
the first time. It's cursed.
Why, Matt?
You just become meat for the thing.
Yeah, it grows over you and you become like the Grave Knight.
Also, you can't remove the armor after a certain point.
It's cursed.
Yeah.
It just eats you from the inside out, and you become just a thing for it to wear.
Yummy.
It's the Grave Knight's curse. It's literally called Grave Knight's curse. Oh god, and he does mention he kind of gestures at the Great Pick. I'm also a master at using this. He's got the weapon master feat.
Okay, that's fair. Well, that's going to hurt when I inevitably get crit by it. That's going to hurt.
Maybe make a suggestion here. I think what you're doing is very noble, but if it is in the best interest of your goddess, then wouldn't it just be better to let us pass without fighting?
But if they're a champion, they can't because it's
he is literally animated by an oath. So
They're oath bounded.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's very admirable.
Very poetic.
Also, he also mentions that if you can't defeat me, you're better off not facing what's on the other side of this wall.
Yeah.
And so, champions,
Long rest.
I pray for your victory, and we're gonna roll initiative as he.
I was about to say maybe we could pause, do a long rest, and then come back to face him.
No.
I mean, if you want, if you guys sort of back away, he's not gonna follow you.
I still have. I'm only down a single spell slot right now.
Yeah, I enlarged a bunch of mirrors. I don't have any. Well, I mean,
We'll
I
have
have
to-
all your
That's-
bombs.
That's the other thing is that how long are these doors going to stay open for us?
No,
I mean,
well, we've
5
got
minutes.
everybody on angle for them.
Yeah.
as long as you keep sort of like flickering the mirrors, though, admittedly, it's only going to be about 5 minutes.
Ooh, I actually did good on initiative.
Yeah,
for once.
before
Although, actually, one thing he does
so
mention, one thing that might influence your decision here, defeating him doesn't open the wall.
Oh, that's fine.
Like, to get past, like, you have to figure out how to open the wall.
Hey,
Um,
buddy, does your pick shine sunlight?
No, it's just fire.
Damn.
Mm.
Okay,
Do you know how to open
my
it?
spell is gonna run out in.
You know what? He would actually, because he lived here. Opposed to all the other doors, this one requires a combination. And he also mentions that the priests of the temple had lanterns that emitted both moonlight and sunlight, and if you're lucky, at least one of each should be somewhere in this shrine.
Oh my god.
It's all good. We've searched everywhere on this floor.
Actually, hold on a sec. What room is this? This is A15. Okay. Let me double check one little detail.
Well.
I'm
Okay, no.
at a loss here because we can. I mean, obviously we're
Our-
over initiative, so
Are we roll initiative, people? You have one. I'm going to give you one chance here to change your minds.
we are not gonna get out again.
Why? We have 5
We'll be
minutes.
fine.
Face him in 5 minutes.
Probably like
Yeah.
you've been talking for a few minutes, so it's probably more like 3
Yeah,
at this point.
3 minutes. That's like out of game.
30 rounds.
That's like 30 rounds of combat.
Okay.
Oh god.
And to be fair, you could all just like as long as you can defeat him, Endures in Darkness could take a long rest and get you out of this room with the sunlight.
Another thing to consider, Sarah, is that the doors each take a full 60 seconds to close.
That's true. Oops,
So-
that was Gamma.
Weird. I just
Ignore
feel
that.
I just feel like he seemed, okay. I'll
Also,
roll
you're
initiative.
on. You're also.
So
on
we have
GM
more
layer.
like I don't know, 7 minutes.
Also, Matt, you're on GM layer.
Oh,
It's
for
just
them.
like what, 60 rounds?
What doesn't matter? I rolled crap anyway, so
Oh.
hey y'all.
there we go. You guys can
It'll be
see.
one of
Nope.
those nights.
Nope. Hold on. That
Let's
was
go.
GM as well. There we go. Nope, that's 2
Roll
GM.
20.
God damn it. Could you see the 33?
Yeah, we can see the 33. You just reversed it.
Yeah. Don't worry about it then. I will just return this to a 33. I saw GM and I got annoyed. But no, I am the GM.
You are the
Anyway,
GM.
and then Endures in Darkness, who is also going to be in the room.
Alrighty. So let's do everything to this guy, and then, you know.
I think that's everyone, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Avi, you are first. As the guy holds his great pick high, flames flickering across the metal, a resolve in his eyes, and maybe even a glimmer of hope.
Oh. Would I know? Well, no, he'd be different. I think I'd want to make some kind of check, discern secrets, to see what his resistances and abilities are.
I'm just going to tell you. He doesn't actually have that much different from the Grave Knight. You remember that Grave Knights are immune to death, disease, fire. Well, this one's fire, paralyzed, poison, and unconscious. No weaknesses as last time you remember it.
Okay. That's important information so that we don't use any poison stuff. Poor Sarah. I promise she's just getting a snack. She's not just hearing, oh, fuck, I can't poison him and leaving. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Because it makes doing this a whole lot easier. Gonna be a dragon.
Dravi.
Can someone make my token big?
I got you. How big? Do you need a large or a
large?
There you go. One large Avi with fries.
Coming right up. Okay,
all right.
And
that was
that
3
take
action,
an
right?
action to know the.
You just
the
remembered
lore?
it.
Okay. Good to know.
Oh, it's only 2 action. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. Turning into a dragon with 2 actions.
I know. In which case, I will move here.
All right. Move on to Igara and friends.
All right. Well,
except for Choco, who's back in the way holding the circuit in place.
Yep, that's what Choco do. Gamma's going to cast Mirror Image on themselves.
Mirror Image, you say?
Boop, 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 boop. Thank you.
Tiny little icon.
And then I'm going to cast Protect Companion.
Ooh.
And it is going to boost the AC by 1, and because I have 7th level spells, it will be I will reduce the damage by any triggering damage if I use the reaction by 30, and I will take 15 points of damage instead with it. So I basically will save 15 points of damage if I use a reaction to take a hit for Gamma. And that is my turn. Gamma has Mirror Image.
Okay.
No DPS, but it's not often I get a chance to, like, you know.
All right.
Do a thing.
So I'm scrolling down. All right. That was your whole turn?
Yep, that was it.
Okay, we're going to move on to him. Yeah, he's going to have at you and attempt to lay into Gamma.
Do it.
All right. Great pick. 41.
Oh, that's a hit, not a crit, so we get to roll a d4. Gamma will always be 1.
Right. Mirror Image. Do you want me to roll it, or?
You, yeah, go for it.
Oh, no. 1d4. 3.
Pops an image.
All right. Pops an image. Great pick the second.
Misses.
Great pick the third.
Hits. Roll a d3. Gamma is 1.
3. Pops image. 1 image remaining.
Yep.
I think.
Hooray!
All right. We move on to Endures in Darkness, who is quite saddened by this whole affair. He's just going to step to here. He's going to give Avi guidance and start Well, no, he can't do his AoE thing because we haven't. No, we got a focus point back because we took a short rest, right?
Yep, we took a rest.
He will start his armor thing again, where everyone within 5 feet gets a +1 to AC. We move on to Ophelia. Charlotte, you will be up. Next.
All right, we are going to do a performance check for our
class DC level DC.
For 13, it is 31.
That's a success then.
All right,
So that'll be
we got a
+2.
+2 for our bard song. Just throwing that there so I remember. And then I'm going to. So Ophelia is going to kind of start twiddling with her hat where Floribunda is, and she's going to like do a little dance with Floribunda, and they're gonna cast into time.
My.
So please make me a fortitude save.
Fortitude save. Okay.
Fortitude.
Critical failure.
Ooh, all right. Unfortunately, I rolled really bad damage for that, but
Well, you got Bard Song, so
so that'll be 38
times 2.
doubled.
So
Please,
68,
and
71, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Thank you.
76 points of mental damage. And second 2.
Second to lovely.
Second. All right. That's going to be -2 to DCs and saves, I think.
Yep.
And just as I'm ruling as a DM, he can't do the thing where he does an action to make himself throw up to reduce sickened, because what would he throw? He's the untending.
Right, yeah, he's got nothing in there. Dust?
All right.
And that is my turn.
All right, Charlotte, you are up, and then Avi Avi Dragon.
Avi Avi Altar.
Okay, so what I relatively know about undeads is that poisons don't tend to actually work on them.
I'm assuming Avi Avi shared.
Thank you
Yes.
for the raid, Elder Worm Studio.
Oh, thank you!
Hey.
We're fighting a mini boss.
We're fighting a mini boss, and I'm in full-on contemplation mode. I can't use my poison, which is fine. But
It's a bit of a sad mini boss too.
Yeah.
Very sad.
it is. We're only attacking it so we can save it.
And he's so sad that he just crit failed his fortitude save. That's how sad he is.
I think he kinda wants. See, low key, let's say he wants that. I'm gonna cast a crystal shard bomb on him. Cast.
Ooh.
What am I talking about? I don't cast anything. I throw bombs.
You
We're
chuck
gonna throw
it.
moderate crystal shard.
Oh,
So that'll be a
44.
42.
44.
44.
44, thank you.
Roll 20 said, I'm sorry, Sarah.
It is a hit, but not a crit.
Even with Bard Song?
No, but the
Even with Bard Song. He has an AC of 38.
that's pretty good. But the
I
area
mean, he's
his
just
hand
armor.
has now Caltrap's effect. So every time, if he doesn't move,
Still
Take a
9
different
piercing damage.
ah, look at that, +2.
Yeah.
Look at that cute +2. And it's pink. Appreciated.
And the 4 splash damage.
Oh, thank you, Will. All right. That was one action. I think you have another 2.
I do. I'm
You-
so sorry, chat.
That's all right. You got the
I had
honeys.
no time after coming home before stream to actually properly cook a dinner tonight. So I was like, oh, that's cool. I'll just deal with it. And then my stomach started eating itself off.
I did a bunch of roasted vegetables from my garden for dinner tonight.
Oh, God.
I wish I could grow vegetables.
Do I need to water my mint?
I think I'm going to throw out
I should call
a
them.
lesser acid flask now.
Sure.
Let's do some acid.
Don't hit.
Is that attack number 2?
No.
Uh-huh.
So we'll just -5 from that, so it becomes a...
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to
Yeah.
brush it with you.
That's okay. So that one will not hit then, but it'll still do the splash damage. So that will be 1 acid. 3 acid, thank you.
I'm going to also use my last action to resupply myself with another bomb.
Make the little crafting motion.
With
All right,
all
we
of
move
her
on.
arms?
We move on to giant bat
Or-
dragon, Avi Avi.
Yeah.
I don't need all 6 to craft a bomb. I can do it one-handed.
Dragon!
I do. I cast.
I'm
I'm
a firing Malith. Oh no.
Oh, I rolled like garbage for damage. That's okay. Don't worry about the attack. It's just for damage.
Okay.
Which I rolled
Does he get a reflex?
horrifically. Yes, I believe it is a reflex
Oh,
save.
5? What?
34.
34, I think,
It's against your spell.
is a
save, geez.
success.
Okay, so half damage, so that will be
Half of 35.
16. Oh, 35, so 34. Half of 7. It'll be 17 then.
Gotta
Well,
say,
that
you're pretty
wasn't
spry
very
for a dead
good.
guy.
That was 11d6. 33
Just maybe,
damage.
but I bet
There were
when he's alive-
5 ones in there. Oof. Ooh.
I bet you anything. When this guy was alive, he was a looker. And not only that, he was popular. But he only had a love for his priestess.
Probably.
He's a simp.
And only ever made hia noises.
And liked breaking pots.
There's no reason why I can't.
There's in
use
fact
a
so many
focus
broken
spell.
pots in this room.
Oh,
The mortal enemies.
romantic.
So I suppose I will cast Needle of Vengeance as well. Against Gamma.
Okay. Needle of Vengeance. Do I have to roll the will save now?
Attacks.
When you hit,
Okay.
when and if you hit Gamma.
All right. Do you have an action left?
No.
Okay,
Breath
we
weapon,
move
I believe, is
on.
2.
Igora.
Right, Igor is going to use their first 2 actions since we are going to long rest after this. I'm going to haste thyself.
Boo, 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 boo.
And then Gamma is going to striking belly bump the thing in front of it. So that'll be a 34 to hit.
No.
Need a 38, right?
Sicken doesn't affect the AC,
Yeah,
so
it doesn't. What's 38 minus 25?
38 minus 25, that would be 13.
Wow, okay.
But I hate math.
I got a 50-50.
I mean, he's a champion of an almost god.
That's my turn.
He's going to look at Gamma, at the large bat dragon nearby. Like, you are worthy of respect. He is going to then he's going to like swing his great picks over his head and then swing it to strike the ground, and it suddenly creates just a torrent of sparks, and he's going to use Devastating Blast.
Does it have the manip? Is that a spell?
It is Arcane Evocation Fire. It's a spell technically. I'm just giving it some flavor.
No, it doesn't have. It doesn't have. Does it have the manipulate trait?
It does not.
Okay, so then I don't get AO.
It's just it's a ability essentially.
Yep.
So I'm gonna need. It is a 30-foot cone, and he is aiming essentially right at the clump of everyone that's over there.
We do like to clump.
Oh, the one time I'm not part of this. Go me.
So yeah, that is a reflex of 36 to avoid the
Hero
damage.
pointing. There we go, 38.
Nice.
All right, so 56 minus divided by 2, that will be 28 for anyone who succeeds.
Minus our fire resistance.
Yes, 28. So
Wow.
23 for anyone who succeeds, 52 for anyone who failed. I have to roll for Endures in Darkness, and that's a reflex. Wow!
He
Endures
also
in-
needs to make a wisdom save now.
Is it an attack or an offensive action?
Attack.
Hostile action.
Hostile action. All right. Will save.
What a spry little mushroom
35.
man.
Success. So that's still 7 damage.
Okay. 7 damage. And so the DC was 36, so Endures is going to take half. So what did I say half was?
Was it 23 or something like that?
Thank you. That actually is very helpful. All right. And then he's just going to make one great pick attack on Gamma.
Another save.
Yep. 45 on Gamma.
That will crit, but because of mirror image, it'll just become a regular hit.
Okay. So 28 slashing.
Matt,
Wait,
Oh,
wait.
yep.
That is not your first attack, Matthew.
Does the Devastating Blast have an attack? Why wouldn't it? It's just an ability. It's like a breath weapon.
Well,
Endures is AC thing. Did it
no,
get
it
bigger
doesn't.
yet?
It doesn't matter. That would crit me even with the AC thing. But because
But
of
the mirror image is fine.
stops it. It's just
Gotcha,
if
okay.
this does crit, it will hurt a lot. So I'm going to take 28 and no fire damage because.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'll take that other will save. 42.
Jesus, I think that might be a crit success.
What was that doing?
Yeah,
Does that mean he doesn't take any
a
then?
needle?
nothing.
All right. We move on to Endures in Darkness. Is anyone particularly hurt?
I'm at 150 out of 201, but I'm fine.
I'm good for now.
Yeah.
Okay. He's going to spend an action to pump his AC thing out to 10 feet now. Then he's just going to cast an Electric Arc.
Nice.
Reflex of 30. He's probably going to pass that. Ooh, critically. Yep. Guy's got good saves. Even with the only -1 from Sicken now because it goes down by 1. But even then. That is his turn. Ophelia, and then Charlotte, you'll be up next. Yep.
Matt, he has to take caltrip damage.
Even if he doesn't move?
He's standing in them.
Okay.
He's got crystal shards about his feet.
Do you remember how much the damage was? I will zoom
And
up
also acid damage?
Yeah,
No, it's just a splash.
No, it was just a splash. It didn't.
It's just
actually
a
hit.
splash for that one. It's not persistent. The damage for that one was 7 piercing damage.
Thank you. All right.
He's standing in place because it's like an
Ophelia, and then Charlotte. So Ophelia, you're up.
I'm gonna keep Bard Song up and make me a cheeky little will save, please.
Cheeky little will save.
Sublimated crystal.
37. A success, but not critically.
All right, well, he's stunned 1.
Yes, he is stunned 1. All right. And was keeping Bard's up a free action or just one action?
Just 1 action.
Okay. So yeah, I guess that's your turn.
Yeah, I didn't use lingering yet.
Charlotte, it is your turn, and then we'll have Avi Dargan.
Cool. So for further clarification, looking at the crystal shards moderate bomb, it has a surface level. It lasts for 1 minute, essentially, if he's standing in place. Level surface are caltrops, which is the metal spikes, and when he moves, he just has to also make an acrobatics check to not get damaged again, but if he's just standing in place.
He's thinking negative feeling.
I don't know. It's a weird combination of things. Cool. I'm gonna throw a moderate acid flask at him.
35 with Bard's Song, unfortunately, will not hit, but we'll still do the acid splash damage. 4, thanks to Bard's Song.
Jeez.
Yeah.
He's slowed, so there's no reason for me to flat-foot him. Okay. Let's... Let me take the opportunity to throw just a lesser acid flask at him as secondary attack. Won't make it.
But we'll still do that splash.
Still do that splash.
All right.
And yeah, I will take this last one to
Craft.
craft.
Good thing you're not in a mine. Avi, and then Igora.
Alrighty, let's I can't really move into flank, can I? That's
No.
unfortunate.
Well, if you go here,
I can
you
move like
can.
here.
If you go there, you can. Like one more down, you are in flank. Yeah.
This is technically flanking?
Yeah, because you're in this bottom square and Gama's in this top square.
Okay, yeah.
Large
that.
I mean,
creatures.
It's for lovely look, we keep them circular, but technically, yes, they are squares, and you occupy the squares.
Oh, call me a
You're
You're
right.
You're all a bunch
We
of
are all squares.
Yeah, especially the bard.
Oh, man. Attack on
Balls.
Ophelia from out of left field.
A cute
Aw.
ones.
Cute ones. Let me get some dragon jaws in there.
I remember this is what I was when I did when my bard cast maze. It's like, goodbye.
A 33 plus 2,
35?
35 is not gonna
Well, against
do
their
it.
flat-footed, which
35
lowers it by 2.
plus off by 1.
Yeah.
Guidance! I still have a guidance from Endures in
You
Darkness.
do.
I have!
You do hit.
We're like fishing. We're like, please.
I mean, that's how Pathfinder 1 used to be. You just had to stack +1s and shit.
You all buffed.
Pathfinder, do it.
Just increase buff.
You all
Can
buffed
I
the
Carry.
Blood
give
Rager.
Endures in Darkness a claws up? Like, thanks, man.
He's a little intimidated by this dragon gesturing at him. Oh
He
no,
knows it's me.
Aviavi's
He also
turning
has
against
dragon
us.
form.
He does. His dragon form is significantly weirder, though.
And then
I
I
bet.
will sustain. So he takes 18 damage and 5
20 by
acid
Bard Song.
damage. 20.
I give you pretty
Um,
numbers.
And then I don't know if the additional acid damage is also buffed by Bard Song.
Just one.
So 25 in total.
Yes.
It's good. You guys are doing a fair clip of damage.
Yeah, and then I'll sustain
Needle.
needle.
All right, Igara.
Igora reaches up into the air, and you see like shards of kaleidoscope stained glass forming above their hand, and they just throw it. And I'm going to cast Vitrifying Blast at 7th level, so I'm going to have to add a d6
Whoa.
to this.
You guys are taking a long rest after this,
Whoa,
probably.
yeah, we are.
I'm going to aim the cone this way because I can do that.
Quick question: who's casting the spell?
Igora.
Igora.
not
Okay, Igora.
Gama.
Okay.
Yeah, eat
Wait,
it
what?
with
Just
the
checking.
AO.
Just checking.
Asking.
So I'll add an extra d6 to this. 1d6.
A reflex.
2 more. Okay. So yeah, DC 32 reflex save, please. Not a crit success.
Succeeds, but not critically. Especially since that actually becomes a 40 because he is still sickened 1.
Even better. So, they are going to take 24, 25,
28?
26, 27, 28, so 14 piercing damage.
14.
And they now have their slowed 1.
Slowed 1 again.
Oh wait, no, they're not slowed 1.
Oh.
Never mind. It's
Okay.
only a fail. Sorry, this new spell, learning the spell. They do
That's
have a
fine.
weakness 3 to sonic and bludgeoning damage for a round though. And I still have
Super
2
sound.
actions because I'm I'm hasted. This spell does not have the attack trait. So striking belly bump.
Hello, everyone.
Fuck you, game.
Really making a bigger
Fuck
show
you,
of this
game.
than it would have been otherwise.
Everyone can hear
Sorry,
you
Will.
falling on the floor, Brandon.
And that
All 7
is
people watching this stream.
that is
I
my
just
turn.
work here.
Sorry, Will.
What?
Now all of China knows you crawled across the floor.
Dishonor on your cow.
Cooper's partner, boyfriend? I don't know what y'all calling it.
Boyfriend.
Just
Oh.
crawled across the floor to avoid being on camera.
Nor will it be the last time they do so.
So
Anyway, you get. It's hard to tell them being sort of like weird haunted armor sort of thing, but it almost seems like Omandeo is smiling a little bit, just like he's getting a good fight for at the end.
Oh.
He only has 2 actions this turn, so he is going to gesture up into the air above you guys and kind of open his hand, and a little sphere of fire suddenly appears in the air, and he's going to pull it down, and he's going to drop a fireball.
AO.
Oh, don't like that.
I will take my AO, thank you.
Now, checking... It did roll level 6.
Yeah.
Oof.
So that is going to be a reflex save for everyone within... what is
Well,
the...
everyone.
Hold on. 20-foot burst. So yeah,
20-foot burst.
That'll be everyone.
A fireball.
It's centered on Charlotte.
Of course.
So I think I might be out of it then.
I'd like to mention
You're big.
I am
out of it.
valuable.
Ikura is out of it.
Most fighters die to fire.
But you guys are going to take 5 or was it 2 less or 5 less?
I rolled a 2.
Crit saved.
I'll
Yay!
take the full.
Rolled a
So
2.
20.
I'm gonna hero point that actually.
I'm taking
41.
17.
Oh, come on!
Endures fails, but not critically, so he'll take the full 22.
And Charlotte takes nothing.
I dodged it, and it was on top of my head. How did I do it? Who
You hit the
knows?
deck is what you did.
You said, F that, bye.
It is kind of funny. And that's his whole turn because he was slowed, though he is no longer slowed and no longer sickened at the end of this turn. That brings us to Endures in Darkness. Who's looking rough? Who needs some heals?
I'm at 133 out of 201.
Who is in the keeps getting hit with the AoE needs some?
Well, keep in mind, Matt,
great.
if he crits me with his great pick, I do go down in a strike and a half.
Also, he needs to make a will save for hostile action.
Thank you. Will.
Yes.
The save 32.
Is that
Sickened,
sickened?
no?
Sorry?
Is he still sickened?
Not anymore. At the end of this turn, he was no longer sickened.
Well, it would still have been part of his turn, would it not?
Yeah, you know what? That's true. It would have
Hostile
been
action?
hostile
'Cause
action.
Normally, I would not be being this pedantic, but it does.
No.
My DC
No.
is 32.
Okay.
So...
How much damage you owes?
14. 14.
All right.
damage.
Below 3 digits now.
Yay.
I don't have to tell you that, but I choose to.
Thank you.
Endures in Darkness is going to throw a heal. What is my highest level healing I have left? I'm going to 2 action. 3d8 plus 24 at Ophelia. 32.
Perfect.
That's a
almost
2 action
full.
heal. Pump out that AC again. Everyone within 15 feet now gets +1 AC. And then we move on to Ophelia, and Charlotte, you'll be up next.
Listen, I really haven't liked this guy just smacking me with spells from all the way over there. So we're going to keep Bardsong up, but I'm also going to... That's a 42
Nice.
to bow him. Bow him right in the face. Bow you right in the eyeball.
Boom, right in the eyeball, you say.
Bow you right in the eyeball.
That is definitely going to hit. So that'll be 14 piercing. It actually takes a chunk out of their helmet.
16 piercing.
Thank you.
Friend, please.
All right.
And then we're gonna keep Bardsong up, and then we are going to Forbid Ward Igura or Gama against him. So
Is that
your
a 2
AC
action
is
spell?
just up 1. It is a 1 action spell.
All right. And keeping up Bardsong. All right. Charlotte, you're up next. Avi, you'll be up next.
Almost 9 p.m. and it's 94 degrees Fahrenheit. here.
We're almost done. We're almost done. I'm probably
No,
not going to hit you with any more fire spells.
Yeah, no more fire, please. It's too hot for that.
Too hot. Burning up.
But some like it
I'm
hot.
going to utilize the
Hot.
ability of the
Ooh.
Greater Debilitating Bomb. Utilizing my Greater Debilitating Bomb feat to throw a moderate acid flask in his face. That's a critical hit.
Oh, all right. So that is going to be then.
Nice.
Does that double the persistent?
Technically speaking, persistent doesn't double on a crit.
Okay.
No.
Still gets increased by Bard Song, though, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that'll be lovely 10.
At least that's
It
how we've
appears,
always
Sarah,
hustled.
that
Yeah.
you are
And
bringing the heat.
splash.
Yeah.
Now, what was the status effect you wanted to inflict? Because you added the depolating bomb.
Would enfeebled 1 be beneficial, y'all?
Yes.
Okay, enfeebled.
Technically speaking, debilitating bomb is a passive that we should be adding every time she hits someone with a bomb.
Good God.
True. I
Right.
don't know
That's
how
excellent.
my skills work.
So
I
he's
didn't-
going to have minus. He's until the end of his next turn. He's going to have -1 to all his strength-based things, which is all his melee attacks.
Yeah.
Anything helps with those pickaxes.
All right, you have
That
I
was
think
only
2
my
actions
first
remaining.
action.
Yeah.
That was only my first action.
So this isn't even my final form.
My second action is I'm going to move into the fire with the hope. Get close enough.
I'm sorry, moving to the fire with the what?
I'm going to move closer to my target, i.e.
That hoe.
get close enough to him to
Actually, that's a pickaxe.
chill
not a
touch.
hoe.
Chill touch, fortitude save.
Chill touch is a 2-action spell, Charlotte.
It's true. It is. And you
I had-
bombed it. You moved.
Oh shit. Well, never mind.
Stab him with your spear.
I'd say that shite.
Attack number 2 with your spear.
Leg spear.
Sure.
Attack.
Attack number 2 with the leg spear.
Alright, I attack number 2 with my leg spear. Watch this.
Crit. Nope. Oh, that was the thrown version.
Never mind. I don't know how to do roll.
I love that.
It was
a
worse.
leg spear.
I don't have anything that's not thrown on here.
All right, Avi.
Alright. I'm gonna
Igor, you're up next with your hasted frog.
fight him again. We're gonna do Dragon Jaws. Oh.
Fight.
Thanks to
Ooh,
the
that's
bonus
a
and the
87.
plus the
Plus the
flanking.
flank.
Blankins, that'll be 29 damage total.
29. It's pretty good. It's pretty
Pretty
good.
good.
Pretty
good.
nice number.
Yeah, unlike certain things in this shrine, doesn't have any damage resistance.
Oh,
Uh,
I don't like.
Hey, Avi, you have a
that.
disintegrate still, right?
I do. I
Okay.
think that will be necessary at the end of this, will it
Yeah.
not?
Well, not
42.
necessarily.
32 plus, so 34, and I don't think that's gonna.
No.
44 flat-footed.
You got one action left, I think.
Yeah, I will be sustaining needle.
Igor, you're up.
Third verse, same as the first. Over both
Right.
with both of their hands this time. Maybe they just need a spirit bomb.
Give
this
me your
for it to
energy.
work.
Your sharp, pointy energy.
So another reflex save, please.
Ooh.
Right.
Well, doesn't matter. Crit success, no damage. And then 2 attacks. They have a plus 26. What do they need to roll to? Yeah. And then 2 gamma attacks.
You did roll a
the
natural
first.
16 too.
33, which is still 2
35
roll, because they'll be
minus 2.
35.
One off.
Yep, and
There we go.
there we
That's
go.
a crit,
So that
bitchin'.
will be
Hmm.
30 plus another 2d8.
Let's go,
So
Gamma.
9, so 39 points of psionic damage.
Will.
Yep.
It's
If you were per se to be the one to finish off
Belly-
this night,
Belly bump right into the wall.
That's so
okay.
rude.
Only had 37 hit points left.
Oh,
I was like, oh, the 30. I'm like, Will, roll good on those 2 dice. Now I'm just gonna check. There might be some text at the end of this fight.
will honor your sacrifice, Umandayo, and your dedication written in the histories.
He hits the wall, and for a second it looks like he's about to kind of, just nonchalantly pull himself out of it. But there's sort of like a flicker of some sort of energy in armor. It's like, you are worthy. And the armor just sort of collapses and just sparks fall into the air and sort of dissipate. And like just you hear a voice, I wish you luck. Please set us all free. And you guys are left in the room.
I would like to loot him.
Unfortunately, all of his stuff sort of just like it's his armor and stuff seems to have like
the pick.
It seems to have lost all its luster and magic.
Oh.
Honestly, good.
That's valid.
Looting this guy feels like a dick move. I'm not gonna lie.
I know, but if I could get a fire property rune onto my thing, I could do another d6 of damage with Gamma. It'd be great.
We should make sure that he gets a proper burial, but how are we doing on time for these doors?
Yeah.
We should probably get out through the doors and then...
You guys, you do not have to worry about them coming back anytime soon.
As I've heard in Baldur's Gate many times, I'm absolutely exhausted. I could really use a rest.
You trying to say something?
That Shadowheart always saying that.
Yeah. But as you tell them to leave, Gamma's pathing is weird, and he forces his way through the moon door and falls down the pit because the pathing is
Oh,
weird.
Jesus.
Hey.
Nice play. Nice play.
That's some Solasta stuff right there.
Yeah. But you guys, I think he may have mentioned this, that you now need to either have the spells ready to both do a daylight and a moonlight thing to open this door, or find the stupid lantern somewhere in this shrine.
You should find this.
Which, considering it seems you've explored this entire level, next week we may have to plunge deeper and see what frightened the alligator fae into staying in a room until they almost starved.
I don't like that.
Worms.
Because they're scaries, and if they're scary, then whatever scares them.
What scares the scaries?
Well, they're not super scary. They're more just annoying to fight. But thank you all so much for coming to tonight's episode of the Strength of Thousands Adventure Path here on twitch.tv/tabletoprules. Whilst I look for someone to raid, Matt, why don't you tell us about some of the shows that we have on this channel?
Well, on Wednesdays, we're going to be diving back into Wild Ambition, Western PF2 adventure.
I apologize to our
Talking about
headphone.
going
I
deeper.
apologize for our headphone users.
Oh, was that really loud?
Yeah.
Not ASMR.
Oh, was that really loud?
Yo.
I'm sorry.
I've never actually held the mic up like that before.
I liked it. It was good.
And then on Fridays, we are going back into space with Astral Calling.
Yeah.
And then Saturday, who knows what's going to happen this week? Another variety show.
Well, we might do
Age of Empires, right?
It's still Salt and Strategy, no matter how you...
More elephants for the win!
Anyway.
I just think they're neat.
Thank you all so much for coming. Check out those other shows, Sunhaven Sunday, and of course next Monday, Strength of Thousands AP. We're going to go raid Kelbin TV. They look like a VTuber doing some Pathfinder 2e stuff. And we love our VTubers here on this channel. Not me, who's put in, 45 hours into the HoloLive roguelite game. Thank you all so much for coming, and we'll see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone.